Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Sia, please unmute your Ji, hello, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Most welcome on this webinar on occasion of Women's Day.
Yeah, sure. So, thank you so much. Thank you, IOP. Hello, ma'am. Thank you, IOP. Thank you, IOP Women's Cell, and thank you, Dr. Krishna and Dr. Sia Petwani. So, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be here and talk on the women's itself. So, when I talk about the women's, I mean everything, like inside when it's about your bone health, your vagina or your pelvis, everything. We can't ignore a woman because from menarche to menopause we are going through different hormonal changes. So today as our topic is role of physiotherapy in menstrual health cycle, but I would like to correct the I'm going to take today is a female monthly cycle, because not only those 6 days, those 7 days a woman is menstruating or bleeding. It's more like okay, throughout a month they are going through a very hormonal changes and relation to that hormone, how much fluctuation is going on with their muscles. So first I will start with the bone, that anatomy and the basic muscular structure, so that when we are in the later on of this webinar, so you will get more clear data ki what muscle and which muscle we are talking about and how to activate and how to just help a woman. If you are a woman and if you are suffering from those problems, either from you are a physiotherapist or any stream you are, but definitely if you are a woman and you're suffering from those conditions, because post COVID we have so much cases of like PCOS is more there, endometriosis is more there, and hormonal disorder like premenstrual syndrome cases are more in my OPD as I'm seeing. So I'll start with first this basic bone model. I hope this is visible to you. So this is a basic pelvis model. So here you can see a basic like you can see in front we have anterior section, we have this pubis symphysis. In the back section we have the sacrum and coccyx, and now there you can see these are ischial tuberosity or two stitch bone. These are the bone in which we have to sit, otherwise we are just tucking our somewhere, just tucking our coccyx like this. So just keep these 4 points in mind. Okay, this is front, this is back, and these are the two stitch bone. And now with this section you can easily understand that this is just in the mid section, the pelvis is just in the mid section. And when I talk about this section, now it's just how much weight is getting from your head, arm and trunk, and also how much it is connected to your this section also now your leg, your hip is also connected, means your every muscle like inner core is incorporating to your breathing also. Even for example when you're sneezing, when you're going using the washroom, you're going for an even sexual activity, even your emotions are connected to this muscle. So now you can know about this, okay, how much important and integral cooperation it's going with this section to your whole body system, either you're a male or female. So, like in female we are talking about vagina and vulva conditions, but in male we have penis. So because right now topic is this female menstrual cycle, so now we have the clear structure. Now this is the pelvis in the midsection, and your sacrum, that second sacrum we are passing your COG also, your line of gravity is also passing through this, means our stability is also depend on this section itself. So now let's talk about the cavity. So this cavity, you can see this cavity, this is so important in women's life, because from this cavity itself you are going to get your new healthy baby. And this is the cavity which is filled by a hammock shaped muscle, that is your pelvic floor. So as you can, I think clearly visible to you, this is the hammock shaped, or you can say a diamond shaped just a muscle, which is like muscles are like this in a 3 layers. So like the first layer is basically your ischio-cavernous is there, is forming the lip lining. Then we have bulbospongious muscle here. Just in front we have superficial transverse perineal muscle. And if you see in this section, this is the deep, this is the middle section, that is deep transverse perineal muscle. And then when we are going in, as we are going in, so just here we have levator ani, pubococcygeus, iliococcygeus from here. So now you can just imagine how many muscles they cluster and form this pelvic floor muscle. And this is the main muscle which is holding you and your organs. Because of this muscle, these organs like uterus, your first is your bladder, then uterus, then bowel. These three structures are just holding upon your this floor muscle, and because of this muscle, these are not falling. That means the muscle is basically working as a support system to these organs, these pelvic organs. And secondly, this is the muscle which is helping into your stability also, because of this muscle you are like in a stable posture also. Third, we talk about now, as we know, this is having three opening. First, you can see is a just a opening of urethral opening is there. Then just if you open this lip, there is a vaginal opening. Then third is a anal opening. So the three layer structure of muscle is like, first is your anal triangle is there, this external anal sphincter. Then the second layer of the muscle is going to be definitely your pelvic diaphragm section is there. Then you have the fascia inside this muscle, the third layer, which is basically we talk about like levator ani is there, that is pubococcygeus, iliococcygeus and coccygeus muscle, which is helping you to leave your continent. Because of this muscle, we are not leaking. It's not like okay, I'm getting that urge to pass urine and I just pass it off without getting that time. No, because of these muscle are helping to hold everything together, and because of this muscle, we are not leaking. So this is working as a sphincter also, and then it's a sexual organ also, because it's got your vagina and male have a penis, so definitely it's a sexual work also. Then the fifth one is a lymphatic, because number of nerves are passing through this section, so definitely it work also as a lymphatic section. Now we come inside. If we see this section, this is your basically uterus section. This is an internal section. So as you can see, there both sides we have a ovary. This is a broad ligament. Then we have your this body section, and we have this opening, because you have to keep remember this figure in your mind when I talk about your the monthly cycle. So this is your internal OS, external OS, this is cervix, and this is vaginal opening. So this is the path basically, this figure, and these are the three layers. So this is the third layer. Just keep this thing in mind. This is just your this layer we have to talk about the whole time. So endometrial lining, we have to be very clear that the third layer of the uterus, that is thick layer, is the endometrial lining, and myometrium is just the second layer, is helping in shedding of this if we are not getting pregnant. So before starting for the female monthly cycle, let's dig in a more section about the your menstrual cycle. So basically our menstrual cycle is the start with the menarche, when your body is going through different hormonal changes in a girl life, in a girl body also, in an emotion also, like start with your pubarch, your pubic hairs started growing, your thylacine, budding of breast will be there, then followed by your menarche, your first menstrual cycle. It can vary, age can vary according to definitely these two processes. When you got these, so you will start with the menarche. So the section, the age can't be considered. It can be like according to, as we are seeing in research also, ki now 9-year or 8-year-old girl also getting these menarche section easily. Later on it was like 13 or 14 was a considered age. So now we have this mind ki okay, now because of the hormonal changes, now we get the women to, that girl to the adolescent stage. Now up to the adolescent stage, now we talk about the menstrual cycle. So basically in a menstrual cycle, the whole month your body, your hormone prepare this section to get thick and this section to release one ova. The ovary will release one ova, mature egg cell, and this will get thick to just nourish the baby, to adopt that egg. So if this thing is not, if you're not getting pregnant, if a girl is not getting pregnant, so definitely this ova will, that egg will reabsorb, and this endometrial lining, this will just shed off through this vaginal opening, this through this way, and this shedding will slough off through your vaginal opening, and the woman will just get like those. It can be vary from like 2 days to 4 days to 6 days and up to 7 days. Means if you are getting menstruation, your cycle for 2 days, that's too fine. If you are getting for 7 days, that's too fine. It can vary according to the hormonal lifestyle and the kind of stress or sleep pattern you are following. This will just shed off through this vaginal opening, this through this way, and this shedding will slough off through your vaginal opening, and the woman will just get like those. It can be vary from like 2 days to 4 days to 6 days and up to 7 days. Means if you are getting menstruation, your cycle for 2 days, that's too fine. If you are getting for 7 days, that's too fine. It can vary according to the hormonal lifestyle and the kind of stress or sleep pattern you are following. So now this is a cycle ki every month a woman is menstruating or bleeding, so to shed this endometrial lining. But is this the only cycle going inside the woman body? Is this like how this is just regulated? So now for this regulation we have to just look for the, first we have to understand the pattern of the hormone itself. So first there is a loop mechanism in the body of hormones. So from just anterior pituitary there is FSH and LH will go to will signal to your this ovary and to your uterus. So they will start thickening the endometrial lining and the ova will be matured and released. Then if a woman is not getting pregnant, definitely, so then this will reabsorb, the egg will reabsorb, and the second section, uterus lining, will slough off, and again this section will release hormone that will send signal to your hypothalamus. Okay, now the woman is this woman is not getting pregnant, so again we have to start with the same loop mechanism. Means every month this loop is going on, either you are getting pregnant or not. So there's a basically female menstrual cycle, as we know about, it's a 5-day 6-day process. Means every month I am menstruating, so I am going through a cycle, but not every month you are going through a single cycle. So when I talk about this, there are 4 phases, like first is your menstrual phase, second is your follicular phase, third is your ovulatory phase, and fourth is your luteal phase. So in a menstrual phase, a woman is going through, she is not getting pregnant, so definitely everything is just sloughing off, endometrial lining is sloughing off, egg is reabsorbed. But once there is the last day of her menstruation, again the body will just, hormone will incorporate to again start working for redevelopment of that ball in a follicular phase, and starting making like going for primary follicle and secondary follicle process. Then there comes your ovulation phase, when the secondary mature egg is just released. That is ovulation, that can be between your 12 to 17 days, but particularly in books we mentioned it's a 14-day, but it can vary according to your hormone cycle. Then on ovulation day the egg is released. So in support there is a corpus, just luteum is also released, which release some hormone, then which led to luteal phase. Means this is your fertile phase, and if in this phase a woman is not getting pregnant, then this will again lead to your first phase, that is your menstrual phase. Means this loop mechanism is going on every month. Means now you can understand fully that these are the 4 phases. Means 4 phases you are going through a month. Not only the menstrual phase you are getting these 3 in an adjunct. But we always talk about, okay, there is a menstrual phase. So as a physiotherapist, as a medical practitioner, if you are getting a woman with any like disorder come to you, if you are on an OBGYN PT, definitely you should know, keep on remembering this muscle, this hormone section. Okay, this is the fact, we have to keep in mind, this is the hormone level. Now this is her phase this time, so how her that muscle is behaving, how her hormone should be there. So we have to check thoroughly. We have to ask her, we have to get the proper consultation timing at that moment, and we have to understand that girl also ki, okay, how you have to track. I'll let you know how you have to track. So these are the 4 phases, like menstrual phase, follicular phase, your ovulation, then luteal phase. Now let's talk about again the hormone section. So just through this figure, throughout a month there are 2 parallel cycles going on these 4 phases. First is your uterine cycle, second is your ovarian cycle. In the menstrual first phase, this is sloughing off, this is sloughing off, this is reabsorbing. So definitely at that moment your your egg is reabsorbed, your endometrial lining is just sloughing off. So definitely this is just the end of cycle. Then the first phase comes is your follicular phase. In this phase it will start redeveloping it will just go and start releasing a primary follicle, then secondary follicle. Then there comes the ovulation phase. The primordial follicle will release the mature egg and also corpus luteum, and this is starting thickening more. And in the luteal phase it is completely thick to just give the environmental homely environment to that embryo. So at that moment, luteal phase, if a woman is not pregnant, if she is not getting pregnant at that moment, again this uterine cycle this will slough off, again we will back to the menstrual cycle. So these are the two parallel cycles. Means with these 4 phases, there are 2 parallel cycles going on like this in a hand-to-hand process. If any one of them which is not there in a supportive way, like in mostly cases in nowadays in PCOS, that is polycystic ovarian syndrome, we can see because of the cyst enlargement of your basically ovarian system, you are not getting every month, a woman is not releasing that egg. Although we women are born with 480 eggs, means 480 cycle is going to be there, and there is no new egg is going to born. You are already born with those eggs when you are a girl, and when you come to the puberty age, then the adolescent age, and then the adult age. And again, now you know thoroughly about the female menstrual, your monthly cycle, menstrual cycle, your 4 phases. Now let's again back to the hormone cycle. Now these 4 phases, in the first phase there is rise and fall of hormone is there definitely. So there is a complete fall, means there is no hormone at all working. So definitely these muscles, this muscle, these are completely loose. These are behaving completely loose. If a girl or a woman that is menstruating at that moment, if she is already having disorder for incontinence, means leakage of urine, the muscle is weak, and if she is having a history of leakage, so definitely she will suffer more. So you have to keep this thing in mind. Because of the all hormone at low, this muscle is just behaving low, it's behaving loose. Second is your follicular phase. Now we are again on track. This muscle is starting acting normal, in a normal tone. So at this moment we can ask that woman, okay, now you are all normal because your estrogen is now rising slowly. Then we'll talk about ovulation phase. Are all hormone at peak, estrogen is at peak, and will lead to the release of that egg. And at that moment in a luteal phase, definitely there is all hormone, that corpus luteum is released at that moment when egg is released, which will release 4 more hormones, that is progesterone, estrogen is there again, then again goes to the relaxing hormone, and there's inbin hormone also. So relaxing hormone what will do, will relax more ligament. So definitely this muscle has to work, has to create more load, has to take more load, means this will react like hyper muscle, means in the menstruation it's behaving loose, but on a parallel hand in a luteal phase, because of the rise of hormone, it's behaving tight. So at that moment we can't even plan for a Kegels or any strengthening exercise at that moment. So now we know about the hormone cycle, 4 phases, monthly cycle, menstrual cycle, ovarian and uterine phases. This is the 4 phases, this is the rise and fall is there. And now how the things we have to plan as a practitioner. So if a girl come to you and she is like suffering from having too much cramp is there, dysmenorrhea condition is there, she is getting too much abdominal cramp. So just at that moment you have to ask her when was her last period was there, when was her ovulation day, is she tracking through any app. So let me give you a clue here. Clue is basically, is a kind of app, or you can use any app. Nowadays there are a number of free apps are there to just regulate, or you can just regulate your cycle. You can just, if you are not used to that software or anything, you can just make a diary also, that I call your MMS card, your monthly menstrual card. So just maintain that card, just write every day, write every month, either you're getting any hormonal changes or any emotional disturbance, are you too anxious, are you sleep disorder, are you having irregular cycle, the flow of cycle, number of pads you're using, kind of product you're using, number of panties you're changing, and kind of sweat even you're getting at that moment while those 4 phases. So that at least the endometrial lining is the sloughing off. So definitely this is just the end of cycle. Then the first phase comes is your follicular phase. In this phase it will start redeveloping it will just go and start releasing the primary follicle, then secondary follicle. Then there comes the ovulation phase. The primordial follicle will release the mature egg and also corpus luteum, and this is starting thickening more, and in the luteal phase it is completely thick to just give the environmental homely environment to that embryo. So at that moment, luteal phase, if a woman is not pregnant, if she is not getting pregnant at that moment, again this uterine cycle they will slough off, again we will back to the menstrual cycle. So these are the two parallel cycles. Means with these 4 phases, there are 2 parallel cycles going on like this in a hand-to-hand process. If any one of them which is not there in a supportive way, like in mostly cases in nowadays in PCOS, that is polycystic ovarian syndrome, we can see because of the cyst enlargement of your basically ovarian system, you are not getting every month, a woman is not releasing that egg. Although we women are born with 480 eggs, means 480 cycle is going to be there, and there's no new egg is going to born. You are already born with those eggs when you are a girl, and when you come to the puberty age, then the adolescent age, and then the adult age. And again, now you know thoroughly about the female menstrual, your monthly cycle, menstrual cycle, your 4 phases. Now let's again back to the hormone cycle. Now these 4 phases, in the first phase there is rise and fall of hormone is there definitely. So there is a complete fall, means there is no hormone at all working. So definitely these muscles, this muscle, these are completely loose. These are behaving completely loose. If a girl or a woman that is menstruating at that moment, if she is already having disorder for incontinence, means leakage of urine, the muscle is weak, and if she is having a history of leakage, so definitely she will suffer more. So you have to keep this thing in mind. Because of the all hormone at low, this muscle is just behaving low, it's behaving loose. Second is your follicular phase. Now we are again on track. This muscle will start acting normal, in a normal tone. So at this moment we can ask that woman, okay, now you are all normal, because your estrogen is now rising slowly. Then we'll talk about ovulation phase. Are all hormone at peak, estrogen is at peak, and will lead to the release of that egg, and at that moment in a luteal phase, definitely there is all hormone, that corpus luteum is released at that moment when egg is released, which will release 4 more hormones, that is progesterone, estrogen is there again, then again goes to the relaxing hormone, and there's inbin hormone also. So relaxing hormone, what will do, will relax more ligament. So definitely this muscle has to work, has to create more load, has to take more load, means this will react like hyper muscle, means in the menstruation it's behaving loose, but on a parallel hand in a luteal phase, because of the rise of hormone, it's behaving tight. So at that moment we can't even plan for a Kegels or any strengthening exercise at that moment. So now we know about the hormone cycle, 4 phases, monthly cycle, menstrual cycle, ovarian and uterine phases. This is the 4 phases, this is the rise and fall is there, and now how the things we have to plan as a practitioner. So if a girl come to you and she is like suffering from having too much cramp is there, dysmenorrhea condition is there, she is getting too much abdominal cramp. So just at that moment you have to ask her when was her last period was there, when was her ovulation day, is she tracking through any app? So let me give you a clue here. Clue is basically, is a kind of app, or you can use any app. Nowadays there are a number of free apps are there to just regulate, or you can just regulate your cycle. You can just, if you are not used to that software or anything, you can just make a diary also, that I call your MMS card, your monthly menstrual card. So just maintain that card, just write every day, write every month, either you're getting any hormonal changes or any emotional disturbance, are you too anxious, are you sleep disorder, are you having irregular cycle, the flow of cycle, number of pads you're using, kind of product you're using, number of panties you're changing, and kind of sweat even you're getting at that moment while those 4 phases. So that at least we can track the cycle either through the diary, through your calendar, through your Excel sheet, whatever you're through the app. At least we know the criteria of that cycle. Then again I talk about this is like software, then Clue, then we talk about your MMS card. which which a girl can maintain easily itself, because I know 80% of us are not tracking. We will track them, okay, I'm not getting any problem, so it's fine. So let us live like this, because whenever we talk to any elders, so they're like, in my OPD, as I see, they're like, okay, it's so common, live like this, it's so common, because at when I was your age, I was going through same changes, and I took that pill. When I'm getting that pain, I took this, I just use a hot water bag. So in movies also you can see that whenever a girl is getting a menstrual cramp or anything, because nowadays a Korean trend, so they are just giving that girl a hot water bag or a warm water. That's not the only solution. Just give your girl a proper treatment, a proper counseling. Ki at least she should know as a girl, ki okay, what phase she is, and if you know also ki what phase she is, your life will be easy, because at least you should know ki okay, what mood she is going to be, because throughout a month she is going to different hormonal changes. Now you can just imagine her mood swings. Like at this phase she is going to be depressed like hell. At this phase she is going to like very anxiety, anger would be there, sleeplessness would be there. Then here she's like on cloud 9, she's going to like dance, she would like to go out, go like partying. Then again she's going to be okay, stagnant and relaxed. She want to be relaxed at that moment, she wants someone to massage on her abdomen. So these are the phases. She's not expecting you to help her, she's just wanting you to understand the mood. That's the only thing when we talk about the monthly cycle. Again, now as a physiotherapist, as a role of physiotherapy and monthly cycle is basically as a, if you're exercising, because every time when we talk about the exercise and menstruation, everyone say don't go for exercise, don't do any exercise, because definitely it's not good for your body, it's going to disturb your cycle too. But dear, I always say go for exercise. Just always choose right exercise and right practitioner who is guiding you. Then again, I always choose a licensed person. Then we talk about this thing, this is a phase, this is a hormone, this is the tracking I'm getting. Now what exercise I have to plan according to these 4 phases, because we don't know which phase she is going to come to us. So for this thing, as I told you, in the just a second. Yeah. In the first phase, it's a menstruation. Means this muscle, this pelvic floor muscle, this is behaving too loose. So at this moment, her first pattern is definitely going to guide her. Just go for strengthening. Go for Kegels. Go for strengthening. But Kegels is not only about you have to just contract. No, Kegels is more than that. You have to contract, but at the same moment you have to hold, then you have to relax also at the same moment. Means if this you can see as a structure, so this is your inner core, so this is your pelvic floor muscle. In the back we have multifidus, then in the front we have transverse abdominis, inner corslet muscle, then we have in the upper section your diaphragm. Means these 4 sectional muscle, they are just incorporating with this 4 muscle. So for example, if I'm laughing, if you just people try, you just try to laugh, so you will feel actually your vagina is going in and out. If I'm getting anger, means I'm just tightening this SCA muscle, that time also my muscle is going to contract. If I'm shouting, at that moment also my muscle is reacting with me. If I'm having any kind of depression, then that muscle is definitely just observe all your behavior. Then so in a menstruation, we have to train her for the basically strengthening section. Then you can also ask her if she is getting too much cramp. She can just go for the abdominal training activity like core 4 breathing, or she has to breathe in through her nose, breathe out through her mouth. So like while breathing, ask her to her abdomen is going to protrude out, and her vagina is going to touch going toward the floor, and while breathing out in a pulse slip format like this, her everything is going to be in. So that is how the flow is going on. But at the same moment, if we have to work for the strength, so we have to go for contraction at the same parallel, and we have to go for the relaxation also. And never tell them, because in mainstream just try to stop it. Never please, because you are just disturbing the natural cycle. If you want to train them, just train them with a proper fully awareness of your anatomy and show them like the picture, the models. So definitely they would have more clear picture, because most of them they are not aware about the muscle section. How, because most of the time they are just tightening the adductor or glutes. So we have to explain them how to just go for the muscle awareness and muscle isolation also on the same parallel hand. Then we talk about, this is the menstrual phase. Okay, we have to work on the strength section. Now we are going toward the follicular phase. So follicular phase is all about all hormone is going to the normal level. So here a girl can go for your basically aerobic activity, your cardio activity also she can go for, she will feel good. And then incorporating the Kegels itself and core for breathing also. Then we come to the ovulation phase. Ovulation phase is all about the feeling good thing, cloud nine thing. So definitely at this moment a girl, she has to go for basically like, okay, now I'm feeling good, energetic, I can just climb the mountain. So definitely at that moment she can go for high intensity training, strength training she can go for. So she can use weight bearing, go for weight bearing activity, go for cycling, swimming also is good, and also the best part, you can go for treadmill activity is good at that moment. And walking is the ultimate exercise. She can follow in all 4 phases throughout a month. She can go for walking, at least minimum 30 minutes is required. So then we move toward your luteal phase. There you have to think again. This is the challenging again. Now in a menstruation time, this muscle is behaving loose. Now this muscle is getting tight. So now we have to let her learn the another thing, how she has to relax this muscle. Now for starting 2 phases, we are let her learn how to tight. Now we have to let her learn how to release. So this is the phase you have to train her. Okay, now this is how you are going to relax the muscle. So ask her to breathe in, breathe out, and let it go everything, because whenever you are breathing in, your muscle is actually opening, it's relaxing in a natural process. Or you can just go for the balloon activity, just go for the spirometer activity is good. So these are the 4 phases and these are the sort of exercise. Now let's move on to the kind of help physiotherapy is getting in the life of your woman or a menstrual cycle or monthly cycle. So basically when a woman is exercising, definitely at that moment there's a release of endorphin hormone, that is your feel good hormone. So definitely she will feel good. Secondary is a hormone serotonin, that is your sleep inducing hormone. So because most of time the sleep pattern is disturbed when your cycle is disturbed. So you have to make sure she is getting enough sleep of not less than 6 hours or 7 hours. Minimum is required. Then the hydration, definitely if you are exercising, you are drinking well, you are drinking water well. So definitely hydration is maintained, means your fluid cycle is maintained, your loo mechanism is working well like this in a clockwise direction. Then it's just working, your bladder and bowel will be working well, your floor muscle is active, your obesity is controlled, your basically posture is stable. So definitely physiotherapy is playing so much important role in a life of a monthly cycle in a woman. And in a just last section I want to talk about this section ki, okay, if you want to learn more, please track your cycle through your MMS card. You can just maintain easily through Excel, through your diary, whatever way is comfortable and convenient to you. And because your this section is actually a report card to yourself. Okay, monthly how you are behaving with your whole body system. Then physiotherapy is not only going to create awareness in women's body, is get the power to create the amazing things for women. It's just marvelous thing, and magical things will happen in your practice if you practice it. And then if you want to read more, you can go ahead and just click my book on Kindle. It's all about periods. The book is getting all data, all knowledge which I got through my OPD, through my patients in that book, and the book cost only ₹99. It's my gift globally to everyone, every girl, every woman, to your girl definitely. Okay, how she can easily understand about the cycle. If for example you are not a medical practitioner, still the book is for you, because if you are a girl, if you are menstruating, the book is for you. Then we talk about the very common problem we are nowadays facing is a PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. But like most of us is confused with the PCOD doctor or a PCOS. So PCOD is basically it's not a disease, because polycystic ovarian disease is not even a term. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, you know why syndrome? Because, for example, if there's a 10 women or 10 girls in this room right now, they have a different symptoms of a same PCOS problem. So you can't say someone is saying my hair is thinning, someone is saying I'm getting the acne, someone is saying okay I'm getting obesity, someone is saying I'm getting the black patches, someone is saying I'm getting the hairy look, someone getting I'm getting hirsutism in my inner part body also. Somebody is saying okay I'm getting the sexual pain doctor while disturbing condition while going through my sexual cycle. Then someone is saying, so there are different symptoms. So as a physiotherapist, as a pelvic floor therapist, what's your role there? Your role again is important and irreplaceable. If you learn this key, okay, because now it's a AI age and then definitely everyone is dependent on AI, ChatGPT. So definitely you have to be well prepared when you are practicing in OPD, because your patient is coming with so many of their own searches, and you have to let them trust you are way better than their internet search. So at that moment you have to like what if you go for PCOS is all about there are different number of symptoms you will get when you are started practicing. So at that moment you will start with okay as in a physiotherapy when we start with releasing the symptom like for example when we talk about the sexual pain, so you can help in releasing relaxation of the muscle. When we talk about too much like looseness is there, you can go for strengthening of those muscles. Then we talk about the your basically stability, because she is getting obese also because of the hormonal disturbances. So definitely you can make her exercise and just make her posture clear, and you can help her with the loss of weight also with the right form of exercise.